Welcome to Pbkc Streaming Live. Streaming Live. Streaming live, West Palm Beach, Florida.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Coming at you live from PBKC in beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida.
You're good.
Okay. You made me nervous when you reached for the button. 1111 North Congress Avenue, located conveniently across the street from Palm Beach International Airport. I am Matt, formerly known as Superfan.
You're still known as Superfan.
Not, well. And here we have the indefatigable Omaha expert, Terry.
That's me.
Joining us, and we're going to be bringing you the play-by-play of today's $150 Deep Stack PLO tournament, 3K guaranteed. So let's get rid of our mugs, and that almost put our mugs on exclusively. Good thing I didn't hit it.
It's a scary thought.
We're
We're going to jump right into pocket aces for Brett.
against pocket kings, pocket jacks. Yeah, this is a pretty good first hand here.
I don't really see any of these guys folding. We got suited kings.
Nope.
Obviously, aces isn't going anywhere. Mark's got a suited jacks. We're definitely going to see a flop here. Benny always looks like he has like the hardest decision to make. Yeah, Steve's gonna pot it here, and I don't.
I actually
blame
like
him.
Benny's hand best here, not just because the math says so. It's just that everybody's got everybody else's outs for the sets.
Yeah,
So anybody set mining's going to have a tough time.
and it's hard to hit two pair when you already have one in your hand, so it's
Yeah.
much easier for a hand like 10-6 to hit two pair and trump pocket aces.
Yeah, Benny's got a flush draw. He's got a lot of straight cards.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Mark's locked in at this point.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have enough chips to fold, or else he probably would. Too much action in front of him. He's got a pot and a repot.
All of it. Going for it right away.
Brett's going all in like he doesn't have aces.
Mark, I get. I mean, 5.5K when the blinds are at this level. You're not going to last long. And
Yep.
you're suited. You got an ace. You got pocket jacks. There's worse hands to go out on.
Yeah, again, if you had like 20K in front of him, we could get away from it at that point. But when you were just this
Yeah.
short, with a chance to almost quadruple up if you take the blinds into account, we're just never folding.
The blinds and antes. Yeah, that's you got to take your chance on this one.
Yeah, he hits a 3.
Didn't Benny fold a 9?
Wow, there's the third
There's
3.
the third 3.
And look, that was the case 3 because Steve had one in
Yeah.
his hand too. Wow, and look, Steve's going to take a side pot because he has the other 3.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's
Brett in
Brett's.
third. That's gross.
That gets knocked out. We kind of jumped into this kind of fast. We were coming in hot with the action here, and we didn't get a chance to tell you about the field, which we'll do right now. We had 33 total entries, which means we're only paying 4 people. We started with 16 players at the start of the stream. Well, I guess 15 now.
Started with 16. Now we're at 15.
So big, not quite quadruple up, at least a triple up, but you factor in the antes and blinds, close to a quadruple up for Mark. Average stack at the start was just under 50K. Well, we do allow the players to make up within reason their own their own handles in the graphics.
Within
And,
within reason.
Within reason, but Lucky SOB, well, he's living up to it. He's the chip leader at this feature table.
He's
for now.
he's walking on a tightrope there.
I think karma-wise, you kind of put a big target on your back when you go with a name like that.
You don't think that can last?
No,
or,
it
or
can.
or the
you
odds
know,
are
but
against him.
It's just it doesn't matter how skilled you are at poker. To win a tournament,
You have to.
there is an element of luck.
Well,
you
you have
to
to be a
catch
lucky
a card
SOB. You have to be a
somewhere.
lucky SOB.
You know, obviously, the better you play and the more skilled you are, the less luck you'll need. But even the best need a little bit. So hopefully that handle don't come back to bite him.
Concur.
Yeah, one guy wouldn't even make up a name. He wouldn't give me a name. I said, well, sir, we have to have a name for the graphics. And he's like, well, you make it up. And I'm like, oh, you don't want to give me that kind of power, sir. You really don't. And he's like, no, I don't care. You make it up. I'm like, okay. Seat 5 is Agent 69. And he's like, what? I'm like, hey, you said I can make it up.
Wow.
You could use a fake name. You could call yourself Kevin or Dave, even
So-
if your name is Jason.
Just want to point out, Benny has pocket aces here, and he just called in the big blind. And I understand aces aren't that great of a hand.
They're
But
pretty
see,
good
not-
right here.
Well, not anymore. He let
Yeah.
lucky SOB in there. You know, he had a gutter ball, and he just let him get there for free.
Benny really
And
needs to
now-
pair the board here.
Well, it doesn't matter. Benny's going to start betting when he has the worst hand. He had the best hand
Yeah, the
pre-flop, best hand on the flop, and now we're going
Right.
to start betting when we have the worst hand. Doesn't make any sense, Benny.
Yeah, Benny's going to have to catch a card.
He
Lucky
just-
SOB. Indeed lucky.
Sometimes we just think a little too hard. Sometimes,
all in
sometimes
with a
we
straight.
just,
You know, what do you do?
Benny, buddy, next time just
Got a set of aces.
bet pre-flop, bet on the flop, whatever happens,
Almost all of his
happens.
outs are dead. He needs an ace or a 5, and that ain't it. All the 7s were gone. Benny legit didn't see the straight. He was reaching for the chips, and and the dealer Debs, he's like, no, sir, he has a straight. And then he looked again. I'm like, oh, really? When he shoved so quick, I might have suspected a straight on that turn when the guy like insta shoves.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think too many people are folding top set on that board,
No.
especially short stack. But I mean, you have to realize the situation that you put yourself in by letting the player get there. Letting him catch
Right.
up in every aspect, pre-flop, on the flop, and then I mean,
Yeah, and Hold'em sets are usually solid on the flop. Omaha, not so much. With
well,
the 4 hold cards.
it's so much easier to slow play and try to trap your opponent and hold them. But in PLO, you just
it's death.
there's such a small margin for error, and there's such
Yeah.
a small margin for trapping. You have to know your opponent. You have to know they're going to bet regardless. You have to know so many factors, and even then, there's so much passive play. You have to do your own betting, and that goes kind of self-serving and Hold'em as well. But in PLO, you really have to do your own betting because people are so scared that somebody else has the nuts, and they usually do. So. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's why you brought me here, right?
Oh, yeah. I just like the implication I have some sort of power or control. I promise I don't.
You do. People let you pick their names and everything.
Yeah.
So it looks like Bo's aces are still good here.
Bo knows how to play aces.
I feel like I live in what's the Mandela effect? Where you think things happen or you remember them as
Right.
happening as fact, but nobody else remembers it.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember that old
Like the
show
Berenstain Bears.
in the early '90s with Bo Gretzky and Michael Jordan? It was a cartoon,
No.
and they were all. Nobody remembers it but me,
No.
but they were all like this super team of like sports athletes.
Right, that
and
was
it
the
was
formula.
Bone-
Sort of like Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling back in the day.
Right,
'cause-
right.
yeah.
But the only thing is, I'm the only one that remembers this show.
I don't
It's-
know.
it's
it kind of
Gretzky-
sounds like a fever dream.
I know. That's my point. That's my point. It's Gretzky, Jordan, and Bo,
Okay.
and that
Bo
was the whole
knows.
show. They would go around, doing
Like solving mysteries and stuff.
more like Captain Planet stuff.
Okay.
Except as sports stars.
Tell me they had a talking dog.
I have to find out this show now, just so I'm not losing it.
To quote the wisdom of Morpheus, it's like the splinter in the back of your mind, driving you mad. All right, back to the action. Terry with queens.
Let's go, Terry.
I mean, we should be impartial,
Can't.
but there's times when a Terry or a Matt is on the show, and obviously we're a little biased. Regular on the stream, Matt, but not me. But he doesn't play Omaha much. We usually catch him on the Hold'em shows. Good gravy, you didn't dream it. Pro Stars.
I still feel like
Okay.
I dreamt it. Pro Stars. They teamed up with a female ally named Denise to help kids and protect the environment. See, it was
It was more like Captain Planet than,
Yeah. That's wild, man. It typically involved the trio receiving a message from a child in need, then using their skills and gadgets to overcome the challenge.
I've been watching hockey a long time. I've never seen gadgets.
Well, there it is. Bo's just going to go ahead and flop the second nuts here, and
Yeah,
lucky
Bo.
SOB is, in fact, not lucky.
Yeah, that's very unlucky, that flop, because a queen high flush is pretty solid, tough to fold.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Mark's going to realize with Bo calling here that this is nothing other
Ooh,
than
I like
a
the
flush.
flat. I like the
I
flat.
love the flat.
Yeah,
well, Bo's also
that's
cautious
great.
of the nut flush out there. This is going to slow down both players by pairing the board.
It looks like checkity check, snap checkity check.
Oh, wow, somebody had queens.
Ooh.
Nobody in this hand, but somebody definitely had queens.
Yeah, it was Terry. And
usually
he'd have a
is.
full house now, queens full of sevens.
Yeah, Bo's never folding this ever,
No. He's
especially for that price.
he's like, if you got the ace, buddy, congratulations.
Bo's
But
like, I got you by one, fella.
they both flopped the flush. Terry would have got there, but with runner. I mean,
yeah.
with that bet on the flop, you can't stick around and
Agreed.
for runner. So that's going to be pretty easy to get over. I mean, you can stay for runner. It's just don't expect to win much. And definitely don't expect to last till our last 15 players in the tournament.
Do you recognize the guy in the 5 seat? So
I do.
His name's Mike. He plays 1-2 no limit downstairs with us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen him play a tournament. Never seen him play a PLO tournament. One of the nicest guys.
Yeah, we were hanging out a little bit because he didn't know where he was going. He
Oh,
comes
down
to
at
the
the feature
table.
table, you mean?
Right, they broke the table right before the break, and he came over, and he's like, where'd everybody go? I said, well, your table got moved to the feature. And he's like, where's all my chips? Because he turned his back for a second, and one of our floaters grabbed his chip stack and brought him down, for him. So he was freaking out a little bit. So I had to tell him, I'm like, relax, your chips are fine. They're down there at the feature table. You're still in the same seat. Just go to seat 5. 3 sevens. No, I'm getting flashbacks. That's what I should have did. I should have snap folded it. My first time ever playing Omaha, and I thought it was a monster hand, so I played it.
When we first started doing our PLO stream, we had an older gentleman who also wasn't too sure of the rules, and he thought he had quads when he had
That's what I did.
trips, and he
Yep.
thought he had the straight flush when he had,
Yeah,
it was
I
just,
flopped the K7, and I had 3 sevens in my hand, so I bet like it's cash money in the bank, and lost about 300 that hand.
I was playing a private game a couple weeks ago, and we did a double board bomb pot PLO, and this poor guy, we told him, he was like, just watch a couple hands. You don't have to play, but no, I'm good. I know how to play. I'm
Yeah,
good.
he doesn't want to look like he don't know what he's doing. He wants
Right.
to be like one of the guys.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what he did on both. He took into account both flops as if they were both part of the same.
Oh, like one big community?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So he thought he had a straight
no.
flush because of the
Oh,
cards that
wow.
were on both boards, and he lost almost 1,000.
Brutal.
I'm like, buddy.
I feel a little better about my play now because it was in an actual card room.
Uh-huh.
Took everything the dealer had not to laugh at me. I thought that was kind of sweet, because the whole rest of the table was laughing directly at me. They're like, quads, who invited the new guy? Thanks for your money. Very calmly, she says, sir, you have 3 of a kind, and this gentleman has a straight, so you don't win.
Fiona, what's up? Della Ventura. I don't know what hashtag replay means, but this is live.
Ish.
Yeah, we're on a half-hour delay, but for all intents and purposes, we are live.
Yeah, we don't have replay ability yet, but for now, when you watch on YouTube or Twitch the day after our live streams, yeah, you can go forward, back, get all the replay ability you like, but live, yeah, we can't do replays. Or can you? I think the viewers can if they're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Yeah, you just go back and then you hit the live button again. And
On
catch
YouTube, you
back
can.
up.
Yeah. You can. What do they call that? Wash or scrub or I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what they call it. It's just That's what I do when I'm watching something being live streamed. If I want to see it again, I'll just roll it back, and then I'll catch up, hit the live
Yeah, I don't
button.
think you can do it with Twitch. Could be wrong.
You could be right, because I watch a lot of stream stuff on. I don't watch it on Twitch. I watch it on YouTube. So I know you can do it on YouTube.
YouTube definitely you can do it.
Six-handed to the flop. What craziness!
Let's see.
Terry flops 2 pair, K's and trays.
And a flush draw. And the best flush draw. We call that a stranglehold. Unless
Lucky
you check it
Lucky
and let somebody else hit an 8.
Yeah, with all the diamonds. Too bad there's no diamonds
crazy.
on this flop.
Terry, how do we check that, buddy? I understand you're in first position, but you got 2 pair and a flush draw.
Well, he folded a boat. The other.
I just don't understand.
I need to quit bringing that up because I would have folded that in his position, that hand. And then he hits runner-runner. And that's the only time you ever hit runner-runner in your whole poker life is after you fold. Bang, bang. It comes right out every time. But, but you know if you play it, it comes like running 10s or something. Totally useless.
Mark's got 3 8s with a jack kicker. Lucky SOB has 3 8s with a 9 kicker. We're going to need something.
And
4 does nothing.
4 does nothing.
8's going to play.
Lucky SOB. Turns out not so lucky, right, Meow?
It's because he doesn't have a hat on. He's like a totally different guy without the hat.
Oh, he forgot his hat.
See?
Oh, wow. I don't have a lucky hat, but rest assured, if I played poker on the regular and I had a lucky hat, I'd definitely have it. Like, like if I get halfway to the card room and I forgot my lucky hat, I'm turning around.
Yeah.
I'm spending the gas.
We're jacked up over here. You see how high we are? We're like all the way.
Test, test, test. Okay, now we're jacked up. We weren't jacked up that high.
We were, I promise. I haven't touched it.
Okay.
So I'm just going
to I just watched you touch it.
Buddy, I didn't fucking touch it. Oh, look, he found his hat. What?
Nice. He found his hat.
Did we just will that into existence?
I mean,
that's insane. Oh, and he's matching the patriotic sailfish too.
The patriotic sailfish.
Yeah.
No, we said that. No, we didn't say the 8's going to play. We said they both had trip 8s, but lucky SOB didn't have the kicker.
I might have said the 8's going to play. I'm still waking up, but I meant the jack's going to play if I didn't say the 8's going to play. Because what sense does that make? Not much. Everybody's limping again. That's weird. Eight, 4, 5. Mike's got 8s and 4s. Lucky SOB has 8s and 5s, top 2. Mark's got a gutter ball. That's about what we're working with here.
Yeah, there's been some action. I'm noticing a stark difference from last week's PLO tournament that we were doing. There's a lot more action.
So here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Because everybody's limping in, you're going to have 6 to 7 players to a flop. There's going to be action because you're going to see.
Right.
I mean,
the action seemed a lot more cautious last week. Like players, it's like they were almost scared to kind of just dip their toe in the water a little bit. Here, not so much.
No, it's the same thing because they all just limped pre-flop. That's a nice river.
Wow. Lucky SOB is lucky once again. He wasn't very lucky for a while.
Lucky SOB checked it. And actually,
full.
I really don't mind that check to be. Oh, wait. Who's Lucky SOB and who's Mark? Because they're both the same guy. All right, there's Lucky SOB.
And, well, he wasn't lucky before, but now he is because he put the hat on.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere without that hat ever again. I saw the hat earlier, and I'm like, getting a jump on 4th of July weekend.
I mean, he is a walking patriot.
Nah, I don't think he plays football for New England.
But bump. Well, Mark, now's the time to pot that beer. See, what do we? All right.
Yeah, that's got me
just
scratching my
never-
head.
That's never the right play. I'm just saying, with a hand that strong,
That's a good hand. He
that
needed
is
to
never the right play.
He needed to
just
drive
call
the
there.
action there.
And now you're gonna let in the whole world. And here's the
And
thing
there's
too.
some good cards out here. Pocket queens, pocket eights.
If he pots it and then you don't get a favorable flop, you can easily fold, or you can continue with a story. But now if you hit, now you're not going to have any kind of max value. See what a great flop that is. He's got a wheel he's got a wrap and top pair. But no one's going to come along. So, I mean, you lost out on any type of value you could have had with a hand like this.
There's the raise.
Lucky SOB with a random hand.
I really hope he verbalized before he did that, because he just made like 3 moves with the chips.
I bet Lucky SOB's got a flush draw and aces and sixes, maybe? No aces and sixes.
No, aces are dead.
Yeah. Set of kings, maybe? He likes his hand, I'll tell you that.
Most definitely. What do we got on there? I see
It's
some
gotta be
paint.
a flush draw.
KJ of clubs.
He's got kings and sixes, too.
Okay, he's got the nut flush draw.
Yeah, we're about 50-50 here. And the best hand, he's got kings and sixes. And there it is.
Dun, 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 dun. You're going to need a bigger boat.
Now, here's the thing.
Kings full of sixes.
If Mark pots it pre-flop, there's a really good chance Lucky SOB folds. It's not a great hand. It's not the best hand.
Right.
You know, he might just chuck it pre-flop. But when you let the entire world in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not the only way he could have got burnt with that move, because 5 players saw a flop with decent hands. If somebody catches a set,
or not,
there was some flush draws, maybe a few hearts.
I mean, you just
there's so many ways to get burned.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. That's a really good flop for him. He flops top pair and a wrap.
Right.
It's a great flop for him. But when you let everybody else in, it's just not that good of a hand.
Yeah, especially against Lucky SOB, who had 2 pair. Like, he just needs, to boat up any king and
No,
six.
he just needed a brick. He just needed his opponent to brick, and kings and sixes are good. And a third of his outs were gone because he had the flush draw.
Yep. And Lucky SOB starting to put some distance between the rest of the table here.
Well, he's a lucky SOB.
Let me use my magic crystal ball. That's not really a crystal ball.
No.
it's
No,
more
it
like
is
a
not.
PC. Kind of glance at the field 30 minutes from now. No spoilers. So if you're hoping for spoilers, sorry to disappoint. All right, on to the next. And the graphics are fashionably late. I can't see any of the cards. Lucky SOB has a set. I know that much. And he bets it. See if any of these mystery hands stick around for another card. Ooh, and Michael's going to raise him up to 30K. Can't see Lucky SOB folding a flopped set. Turn card a 10. Okay, there's 2 flush draws out there. Trying to figure out Michael's hand. He's betting it strong. So strong. Lucky SOB's going to call. And no, it's a flush from Michael. But a 6 on the turn. Lucky SOB boats up. Kings full of sixes yet again. And Lucky SOB is going to get another knockout here, sending Michael S. home. Wow, Kings full of sixes twice to knock out players. And we're down to 4 on this table. So wow. Lucky SOB is indeed just that. All right, we're going to play it as is, four-handed, because the blind just went up in button position. It's all very technical. And we'll just play short-handed until we get a player or two from the other table. I am not Italian, so I can't comment on the hilarity or offensiveness of the comments of the table. How about you there, Terry?
Yup.
Got any Italian?
Nope.
Okay, then you can't comment on the table talk either.
Talking about Rocco?
Well, they were cracking some unflattering Italian jokes, but then they all said, well, we're Italian. It's okay when we do it, but you guys better not do it.
That is the...
That's normally how it goes. Yeah.
Hello?
I would never do that. Somebody I trust and respect a long time ago says, if you ever get invited to go out fishing with them guys, don't go. Just don't go. I believe Rocco folded king and 2 6s. He might be regretting that right about now.
Pretty good flop for King 6-6. Of course, Lucky SOB does have a pair.
Yeah, back-to-back hands he hit.
Wow, look. Lucky SOB's got a backdoor flush draw. He's got top two.
He knocked out
2 pair, and he's open-ended.
For those of you just joining us, he knocked out 2 players with kings full of 6s in separate hands. It's not like he knocked out 2 players in that hand with his full house. He got kings full of 6s, knocked out Mark, and then he knocked out Mike a hand later, again with kings full of 6s.
Wow.
Rebel Poker says, Italian.
I get it.
They can't be all bad.
I get it. Italian.
Passionate people. I married one, so. You know.
An Italian?
Yep. Might explain why I had trouble losing weight throughout my entire marriage. My wife's mother always cooks, and if you don't eat what she cooks, she gets like deeply offended. So
Gotta eat it.
You gotta eat it. Like I went over there after just coming in from a restaurant, and she's all like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" And I said, and in my head, I'm like, "Dude, just wolf it down. Don't say anything."
Gotta know better. So Rocco's open-ended, SOB's open-ended, Bo's got a pair of 10s.
I don't think I've seen the graphics percentages spread out so evenly before.
No, you're right.
The epitome of this could go any way, unless, of course, you bet at it, which Lucky SOB does.
That's the importance of having a big stack. You got to know how to use it. Got to know when to push your opponents around, even when you have nothing.
Got to make them pay for them draws, man. No, that's your power. Why are you giving up your power? Lucky SOB. I'd have been like, no, this is my luck, my mojo. Nobody touches it ever.
He lost it. Everyone's got really a whole lot of nothing on this hand. Steve's
Bet and
open-ended,
win.
but
Bet.
it's the bottom part of the open-ended. Rocco's got a pair of 8s. Now
Lucky
Lucky
SOB.
SOB is continuously being a lucky SOB.
The luck of the devil, you could say, with them 3 6s. What's next? He's going to hit a king? It would be the theme of the day. It wouldn't be kings full of 6s, but it would be in that ballpark. Damien, it's all for you. With your 3 6s.
Exnos. Dominos. What's that about? Storage Wars?
Am I the only one that doesn't like that show?
I mean,
Everybody that talks about it says how amazing it is. But
so
I'm like,
it's definitely not amazing, but it's kind of cool. But with shows like that, you really got to wonder, like,
yeah, the
if-
believability of it. I'm like,
well,
they planted some
of
stuff
it,
in
exactly. Some of
Yeah,
it's
come on.
staged. Some of it might not be, but I mean, it's a show. It's for entertainment. You don't want them opening up a storage with nothing in there. You know?
there. Right. I'm sure there are some out there where people that have them, either they pass away or, and nobody wants the storage unit. And maybe you find something decent.
Well, no, I'm sure a lot of that actually does happen.
But
where there's
every
some good
episode
stuff
they
in there,
find like
but-
this relic and it's worth like $10,000. I'm like, no, come on.
Well, it's
man.
not even like the relics and stuff, but sometimes they'll find like a room. And again, it's been like probably 7 or 8 years since I've actually watched one. But like, they would open a storage unit and there would be like printing equipment, like T-shirt printing equipment,
Right.
or like industrial equipment. So it wouldn't be like a Russian egg or anything, but it would
Right.
be like stuff that's worth 5 figures.
Ooh,
because
trip aces
depends
in
on
the
who
hand
wants
for
to
a
pay for
bow,
it.
which not very good.
That's not good, but we're still playing it. He has all the blockers.
Yeah, I seen one. It was just like a giant folder of Pokemon cards. And they're like, oh, well, common. Well, no. And then he turns a page, and there's a Mew, which is like the rarest card on the planet. And I'm like, yeah, somebody left a Mew in a storage locker and just forgot about it. Okay.
Mhm.
Or a box of generic comics, and he thumbs through it, and there was a Detective Comics #1, which is Batman's
Superman.
debut.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, yeah, sure. Somebody just left that laying around and forgot about it. Okay. Totally believable. That thing would be in a safe deposit box somewhere. It wouldn't be in a storage locker.
Yeah, they knew about it for sure.
But 3 of a kind in your hand may not be that great, but Bo knows how to bet it, and he takes it down.
Well, it helps. He's got the ace of spades, nut flush blocker. He still has the over pair, which obviously is still relatively strong heads up against one opponent. So Bo knows where he's at. And if he gets raised, then he also knows where he's at.
Right.
Bo's been playing tournaments around here for a long time, and he's randomly sprinkled in too. Sometimes it's PLO, sometimes it's Hold'em, sometimes it's our black chip bounty, sometimes it's he's just Bo's just randomly in our tournaments, and I love to see him do good. He's just very even keeled all the time,
Very quiet.
very quiet, doesn't get
Reserved.
upset.
It's tough to put him on a hand when you play like that.
Absolutely. Well, not only tough to put him on a hand, but he's just so solid. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of players they play the mind games. They try to get in your head. You're never getting in his head ever.
No.
So don't even try.
No.
Because I've seen him. Look at him right now. See that stoic look. I've seen him do that with absolute garbage and the stone cold nuts.
Yep.
So that's what makes him dangerous to play against. I'm all for opening it up and playing aggressive sometimes, especially if you got the chip stack to do it. But with Bo, you got to play very conservative.
Yep. Terry's got a monster here.
Double suited, ace queen, pocket tens. Yeah, I like it. I'd probably pot it.
It's going to put Steve in a bit of a spot here. Steve just almost min-clicked. He did about 2.5x under the gun. And he folds. Yeah, with a player like Terry who's...
It really bothers me we can't see what Lucky SOB has because he has been really lucky on some of these.
Yeah, it's probably like a 6, 7, 8, 9 type hand.
All right, to the flop we go, and it's
Well,
probably lucky for SOB because Terry
okay.
just completely whiffed.
Yep.
And he's betting like he's got it.
Terry does have 2 backdoor flush draws, which actually adds 5% per backdoor draw. So, I mean, it's not, especially in Omaha, I mean, we've seen those backdoors come through time and time again.
He's got to put his tournament life at stake.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm just saying it adds a couple extra percent, you know?
Yeah, and he was in for 16K pre-flop.
Right.
So down to 11K, I mean,
Wow,
are you not?
it. Look, he showed he just
he flopped the straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that. But at what point do you figure you're priced in, though? Because down to 11K from a 16K
I mean, with a guy like Lucky SOB on a flop like that, you have all Broadway cards.
Yeah, I mean, you
Here's
didn't
the
get
thing. Does he
any.
fold aces? Does he fold aces there? It's the same thing,
Probably
right?
not, right.
You
It's if there was another spade, like a second spade for him to draw on for the flush. Right.
Oh, 100% he's in there.
You're right. But he just
he
just completely whiffed on the flop.
Now here's the thing: when you're SOB and you just flop the world with no flush draw, no paired board, no nothing, do you just check and give your opponent some rove? Do you just bet a little bit? Do you bet 5K?
Well, he immediately bet enough to put his opponent all in.
That's what I'm saying, though. If we're trying to get value, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you flop the straight. I mean, yeah, a bigger straight could come, so you worry about that. But
yeah, not really. Not with your opponent repotting pre-flop. You know he's got aces or kings or ace, king, queen, jack. You know what I'm saying? Like you can put your opponent in a realm of hands in Omaha when they're repotting pre-flop. Most times, especially in a tournament, he's not going to repot you with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, so you have to know on a flop like that, even 2 pairs just flopping the world.
Got a lot of clubs and a lot of nines. And doesn't get raised. That's always helpful in your big blind.
These are some ugly-looking hands.
Oh, not for Bo, though.
Well, Bo knows.
A set for Bo.
We have 2 flush draws out, though. Rocco's got a king high. Lucky SOB has a jack high.
And, like, I could see Bo slow playing it.
Look at Lucky SOB. He's got 2 pair with his flush draw. He's got jacks and 3s.
Like I said, if it was a rainbow flop, I could see Bo slow playing it. But 2 diamonds out there, 5-handed, no.
Yep.
He's going to try to thin out this field.
You think Lucky SOB's just going to pot it? No,
he's just going to draw on it for now. Oh, wait. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he just
the
calls
color
it, right?
contrast. No, those are red chips.
You're
yeah,
right.
okay. I thought they were orange chips for a second. I thought he just called, but that was a mistake.
It's a tough spot for Bo. I mean, he's just calling here. There's not going to be too many turns you like, except for like a 2,
Ace,
4, 5.
Well, ace, 5, 3, jack. You'll like all of them.
Even a 3. No, yeah, 3 you would like. Jack you wouldn't like. Jack you wouldn't like at all. But I'm just saying, there's going to be a lot of straight cards. See, there's the straight card. He hates that card.
Right. Oh, I'm sure he does.
Now, with Mark checking behind, he knows he's got to be good, and then he's just dead.
And he hits the flush. And the set is sunk. Yeah, that's a tough one. Not just a clever handle for the stream, Lucky SOB. It's proving to be accurate.
Coming to fruition.
All right, as we said earlier, 33 entries into our PLO tournament this week. So we are paying the top 4. You're looking at the featured table, not the final table. We either have 10 or 11 remaining, depending on what's going on with the other table. They got to be within 1. They definitely don't have 4, or we'd be at final. And they can't have 7. So they have to have 5 or 6. Ha, math.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go. I just got a text from Jake. I got to redo my license.
Get some vodka? Okay, no.
I wish. I'll be right back.
Terry, much like the Terminator, will be back. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, to the flop we go. And Rocco gets an ace right off the bats. Also a gut shot straight draw if he can hit a 6. And Rocco bets it, and not much Bo can do there. So he'll let it go. All right, kicking off this hand with Lucky SOB, who's been exactly that thus far. $2K to go. Rocco's going to call that triple suited ace, king, jack 10. Good hand. Good starting hand. It's a pot bet from Rocco, who has the top pair. Action now to Steve, who's got a wrap. Steve needs to Steve's not going to chase that open-ended straight draw, and nor is Lucky SOB going to chase that hand with whatever it was. Pair of 7s. So it's on to the next. All right, Terry decides to let that go. Bo with pocket aces, and he kind of had to take it on the chin the last couple of hands, so looking for a big hand here. Makes it 7K to go. And doesn't get any action, so he'll just pick up the antes and blinds. But 5-handed, antes and blinds ain't a bad pickup. Because a short-handed table, the blinds come around really fast. Can really make life tough for the short stacks. For now. All right, action starts off with Bo. He's got an ace, he's got some clubs, he's got pocket 6s. And Bo will just limp this time. Terry moves all in, defending his big blind. He's double suited, and he also has a pair of fives. There's definitely worse hands to go all in with as the short stack. And picks up the case 5, does Terry. And Rocco says, whoa, 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 who checked? I didn't. Turn card, a 7. Terry boats up. He's got 5s full of 7s and the check mark. The only action here would be a side pot if they start one. Jacking around. Yeah, nobody really hit anything. Lucky SOB hit a king. Yep. I said all he needed was the 7. The 7 was enough, but so a nice quadruple up, and Terry's going to stick around a while. Curiously strong. Altoids, sponsor our stream. All right, Bo let out. Pair of queens and a flush draw. Terry flopped 2 pair. Bo's got a lot of outs, but he needs a not 4 or deuce. And Bo hits 2 pair himself with kings and queens down. Now he's just got to dodge the 4 and the deuce. He doesn't really need the flush anymore. He bets and he takes. Steve says, no, sir. Don't like it. All right, action on Terry, who is also short stacked, but he's got 5s. He's got high spades. Definitely can't afford to let hands like that go, especially on the button. So 4-way to the flop. No action. A deuce on the turn. That changes things a bit. 2 pair for Bo. 6s and ducks. Rainbow board. Nobody's hitting a flush this time. Terry's got a gut shot. Yeah, nobody's going to chase them draws. Bo's going to take this with his 2 pair. And after kind of taking a little bit of a beating there over the last 10-15 minutes, Bo is steadily climbing, chipping away at Lucky SOB's lead little by little. Lucky SOB put his cards in the box, but we can't see what they are for some reason. It's going to go against Bo's Ace, King, Queen, 7, rainbow hand. Lucky SOB checks. Bo, well, it's not a bad flop. It's not a great one either, but he's going to make the continuation bet. Represent a big hand. Turn card an ace. Now Bo has top pair and a wrap. Oh, I'm sorry, not a wrap. He needs a 10 for the straight. River card a 6. So Bo's got 2 pair, aces and 7s. And we have no idea what Lucky SOB has. But we're going to find out. Bo shows him the 2 pair. Well, we're not going to find out. Lucky SOB throws it in. And it's a little closer. Bo within 100K, 91K off the leader. And then the 3 shorter stacks just trying to hang on. And don't be shy about jumping into the chat, everybody. Thank you for joining us, but we encourage audience participation on this show. All right, Terry down to 25K. He's got some suited cards and an ace. Bo with kings. Bo's been very aggressive the last few hands and been doing well, so he's going to keep up the aggression. Makes it 9K to go. Terry decides, yeah, I'm going to get out of the way, let you guys fight. Lucky SOB with 2 pair in his hand. Bo with a pair of kings, but the best pair. And there's a king, and Bo is straight dominating. Lucky SOB is going to have to be the luckiest SOB ever. He's probably going to have to hit running queens or running 5s. And that ain't it. It's all over but the shouting. Bo cannot lose unless he folds. And why would he fold with a set of kings? River card, a 9. It's actually not a bad card for Lucky SOB. It'll make it easy to get away if he were facing a bet, but he is not. And just like that, Bo is within striking distance of Lucky SOB. The other 3 stacks seem content to just let these 2 fight. They're not really mixing it up much. Right, Terry's not the shortest stack, but he's pretty short, and he's got to put 4K of a stack in blind, just for fun. Rocco with the deuces, and if you've watched the show when I'm on the mic, you guys know how I feel about pocket deuces. I mean, Terry's got a suited ace as well as an ace king 10. Does not go all in, just raises to 10K. Curious. That's got me raising an eyebrow. And here's the flop. Terry flops a ton of outs. Lucky SOB's has top pair here. But Terry just needs an ace, a 10, a 9, a king to take the lead. And Lucky SOB makes it all in to call. And Terry's going to go with it. Lucky SOB is ahead, but the graphics say he's a 2-to-1 underdog just because of the sheer number of outs Terry has. All right, we're going to see this run out. Turn card, a king. So that means Terry gets the check mark, a jack to give Lucky SOB a set, but it does not matter. As Terry hits the Broadway, and he's going to double up again. That'll get him up to 3rd place and out of the danger zone, at least temporarily. All right, Rocco double suited with an ace and some straight cards. He'll play that. Steve's also in with his pocket jacks. And some suited cards as well to go with it. Lucky SOB's setting out a hand, which draws questions from the entire rest of the table. And Bo's like, free flop? Sure, why not? All right, 5, 7, 3, couple of hearts. So Steve takes the lead on this one. He's also got top pair and a decent flush draw. Checked around. Queen of diamonds on the turn. That opens the door for Bo a little bit. River card is a 10. Rocco hits 2 pair, 10s and 7s with a queen. It's one of those so many outs, you can't hit one. So blinds just went up to 15.33, 7,500 in orbits. So looks like we're going to have to wait a minute on that as we are consolidating. So that gets us down to final table. I guess that 10th place elimination happened on the other table. That's the bad news. We didn't get to see it. But the good news is we're going to see all the eliminations from now on. And we will be right back. Stay with us, and we will bring you the start of our final table action here at our Thursday 150 buy-in PLO tournaments.
Sell here, gonna raise it up to 6,500 with the King 9.
He's been opening a bunch, Pacell. He's been getting a bunch of really good cards. As you saw, he had the Ace King suited. Before that, he had a bunch of pocket pairs.
Gonna be heads up to this flop. Deuce 3-5. Neither player connecting. King high of Pacell still in the lead.
A diamond there, 1 diamond on the flop.
Check, check. Another diamond.
The power of the back doors.
This is where I'd expect. I was going to say I would expect the bet from Paul there in a way. I went check, check on the flop. Now you pick up the.
Right.
But instead,
And imagine a call, at least.
What was the bet here? 8K into 17.
Raise. Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
It's another way to play it.
It is. It's going to get through, too.
Oh, is it going to get through?
Wow.
Whoa. What did we just see there?
Wait a sec, man. Is that even possible? What? Wow.
It's a hell of a play. He had
we
king
just
9
see
there.
here?
There's the blind versus blind here. We're going to see Mike limping in with the king 5 of clubs, and Georgia will happily check the 7 deuce.
Yeah. Oh, she flops gold. Wow. And now Mike's going to lead
And
into her?
even better, Mike's going to lead in. He does have a flush
Oh,
draw
that's
here.
true.
So this
That
is
is
an
true.
action flop.
Yeah, it could be. She just says, okay, I got, and then she
yeah,
whispered in his ear, I got
her,
a deuce. She
her
leaned
coming
in.
over the top.
Oh, no! 7 deuce for the boat. This is one of the hands with the hand that we're on.
Wow.
This is crazy. I don't know. What number is this hand?
Which shows up in a little bit. All right, we got 10,000 bet here. Georgia's standing up just to make sure she
Yeah,
sees
she's
what.
like, that is what I'm looking at. That's
Yeah.
a 7.
No, I know, but it shows in the beginning of the hand.
She doesn't raise. Lets him, you know what? Let the player dunk off of the rest of his chips.
And look at this small betting by Mike here, too.
Right. All right, she's like, enough is enough. Yeah, he calls. Now, how can you not fall through there? Oh, man, 7 deuce. He's like, what in the world? I got eliminated.
That
with
progressed
that
a lot slower, too, than I thought it would. It like kept betting like 5,000,
Yeah.
10,000.
Small blind versus
But
big
eventually
blind.
it gets all in as we imagined it would with full house against second nut flush.
And he's still stunned about it. He's like, what? That's a revolving chair for sure.
Yep.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed one of our newer features, Handemonium, clips and highlights from past streams. But the final table has been consolidated, and we are officially underway with the final table of our Thursday Deep Stack PLO 3K Guarantee. All the faces that you know of our previous players, they've shifted a bit. Well, except for Lucky SOB. You basically have a 1 in 9 chance of staying where you are when they draw for the final table. Couple of regulars joining the table. Of course, Jen, who recently took home one of our bigger tournaments, making the final table and taking that pot down with aces. Also joining us is the good doctor, Bruce. All right, my broadcast partner, back from reconnaissance, has informed me of some exciting developments. No spoilers, though. You'll have to watch along with us, but
I like turtles.
the hint that was dropped was if you need a snack or a drink, get it now. Because you don't want to miss what's coming.
Did I give all that away?
Yeah, you did.
Hey,
Well, no,
Bruce.
that's not what you said or did. It's just
That was
that's
what you took from it.
showmanship, right?
Gotcha.
Got to hype up the crowd. Come
Gotcha.
on, man, we're in the entertainment gig.
I'm still figuring it all out as I go.
They're like, "What do you know?" I'm like, "Well, I did wear tights and a cape and entertain the masses for some 25 years."
You did do that. I've seen the footage. This looks like Terry has a pair and a straight draw. So it looks like this kind of the best situation here. Lucky SOB has one pair. Jen has an over pair, which is the worst. The worst odds.
This
at the
time
table.
it's usually that overpair is really helpful, but not this time.
Lucky SOB has been less lucky as of late. Apparently.
Yeah, he kind of got into it with Bo. Lucky SOB had Bo roughly 4-1, and now they're pretty close to even. Terry, who is down to 8,000 on a bit of a rally.
It's not Benny knows, it's Bo knows.
Bo knows. Yeah, I haven't seen a Benny Knows commercial anywhere.
No, it's been a while. I'm on my way home, sweet home.
The musical stylings of Terry here on our PLO live stream. Don't sing anything that's going to get us copyright struck.
It's literally everything. No one is safe. Ooh, Bo's playing that hand. For 3,000, come on, Bo. Oh, good fold. Wow, Terry's got a monster over here. I might have thought to isolate if I was Terry there, but I guess if someone's trapping with like aces or kings, it's not the worst thing in the world. Steve's all in for less. Ace Jack 6-9. You're already in for 3K, I guess. Might as well stick it in there and see what happens.
Phrasing.
Oh, I know what I said.
Phrasing.
Said what I meant what I said.
For the love of God, man, phrasing.
Stick it in there. See what happens.
Can tell you don't watch much Archer.
No.
It's a great show.
Wow, it's about as good as you could ask for if you're Steve.
Yeah, it is.
That doesn't really help.
No.
Actually helps Ed, who's
Yeah.
all in. And
Steve needs to catch a card. King or a 5, and that ain't it.
Ain't it. Dude, Steve flopped the world open-ended.
Double kill.
Nut flush draw. Can't ask for more than that.
Is it a double kill? No, it's not a double kill.
No, this is
Because he didn't have him covered. So just
Singular
just a
kill.
single kill. But everybody except Bo and Lucky SOB now firmly planted in the danger zone.
highway to the danger zone.
7,500 in orbits. So that's roughly 4 orbits for Tim on down. So the moves have to come fast. They have to come mean. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of pot, fold.
He does have nice long arms.
They look like good, strong hands, don't they? I know. Sorry to bring back the childhood trauma.
No, you did too.
Yeah.
Tex.
Normally, even as a kid, I didn't like movies that had like magical BS at the end to like undo bad things that happened. But they brought Artex back at the end of that movie, and I'm like, okay, this one,
Nope,
yes,
that's okay.
That one,
That's
yeah,
allowed.
I'm good with that one.
We'll allow it.
Because we had horses when I was a kid, and that just the thought of it
Listen,
happening to an actual horse is just
I didn't
awful.
have horses, and that was still like traumatizing. thought that was kind of cool how in the most recent Stranger Things, or maybe it was.
Oh God, they sang the song.
I don't know if it was the
not a
recent
big,
one or the one before.
not
that.
a big fan of the song.
Of course you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You love it.
Because I love the movie, and I saw it like in theaters as a child. But on the radio they played the song like it was like.
No, they didn't.
Yes, it is.
No,
yes,
they
did.
didn't.
I-
They didn't
on the
play that.
radio every day. It was the most overplayed thing
You
ever.
are so full of it.
No,
They
I'm
did
not full of
not.
it.
I didn't hear that once on the radio.
Well, you weren't listening to just plain old crappy top 40 radio.
Of course I was. That's all. That's all they played.
Right. I mean, it wasn't overplayed as much as that song from Titanic by Celine Dion.
That was overplayed.
That was okay. That's all.
You know what else was overplayed, but I'm still okay with it? Was Mr. Jones. They played Mr. Jones every 4 seconds.
Well, he's going to be a big star.
Yeah. We all want to be cats.
And I know that the topic's supposed to go to poker, but the graphics have kind of taken a coffee break or something. There they are. Okay. Back to poker. Kind of.
No, I like this better.
Okay, the graphics, they were just fashionably late. And this is South Florida. That happens a lot. Who do you think that flop helped? My money's on Lucky SOB.
Rocco.
Rocco? You're
Yep.
going to take Rocco?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I liked my pick before, but I definitely like it better when the guy with position bets.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Lucky SOB knows all about position. He knows how to play it. He knows the right moves. He knows if they're showing weakness.
How much did we bet again? $50 million, right?
Pretty close.
Yeah, in Monopoly money.
I win. I win.
No, you don't.
No, I bet Lucky SOB. It's
Okay,
on tape.
it's
on tape.
Nothing's been on tape since like 1993.
It's being recorded.
It's all digital now. But yeah, you owe me my $50 million in Monopoly money.
You know what's funny is when I was in school, I was studying television and film, and we had to do editing projects, and it was the last time. Basically, I graduated in 2001, and our editing project was tape deck to tape deck.
It was on tape deck.
It was literally on tape deck, and then like the next year, everything started going
Right,
digital.
That's kind of past due for tape. I mean, where'd you go to school?
Palm Beach Gardens High School.
Okay.
But no, I mean that was so. I guess technically our editing projects were in 1999, and I graduated 2001. But
Right.
still,
Okay.
so that was
That's
right
like the tail. I'm like,
yeah, no, literally that was the end.
because I went to Newman and we went to CDs, and I graduated in '94. We were already on CDs and stuff with the AV club.
Yeah, we were.
They had a burner and everything, all the video equipment, on burnable.
Well, we skipped
CDs.
We skipped the whole CD thing. We did a lot of that for like our radio shows and whatnot, but for as far as like the actual film magnet went, we went straight from tape deck to digital. It was pretty impressive. But once I had already crammed all that information in,
Right.
then you go right to digital. It's like, why did I learn all that? Oh, for no reason.
It's like in
Gotcha.
college. In college, when I signed up for Computer Science 101, they were still using DOS.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately dropped the class.
Yeah.
I said, "This is useless. I'm going to pick something else."
Uh-huh.
And then the next year, they went to Windows, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, now I'm going to take it."
Wow, look, Jen and Tim both have aces. Jen's got 2 pair, though.
Yep.
I got 2 pair.
Duper.
What's that from? I got 2 pair.
That one I don't know.
But 3 of a kind beats 2 pair, you dumb truck. No? Nothing?
No.
Very famous movie, Training Day, in which Denzel won an Academy Award.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen that film all the way through. I've seen in bits and pieces.
Yeah, they're playing poker and...
Okay, the poker scene I didn't see.
Well, the one guy thought 2 pair beat 3 of a kind. And it did not.
And no, it doesn't.
What do you like here?
Well, the graphics knows what cards are available and what aren't. So even though I would like Tim's
Oh, wow.
hand,
What a monster.
right, I would like Tim's hand better, but the math says it's probably not going to win.
Chip chop.
But nobody hits anything, so it's time to run, go, get to the chopper.
Jen flopped the nut flush draw and bricked out.
So it's going to be aces and fives with a queen for both players. Jen is not pleased with that development.
Who can blame her?
Because you got aces, and then your opponent has aces too. It's not as bad as getting hit with an Uno reverse, or a draw 4 rather.
So when you play Uno, if you drop consecutive draw 4s, is it draw 8?
It was forever, and the people that made Uno felt the need to broadcast all over social media that is in fact not the way to play. It is something somebody made up one day that just got popular.
Interesting.
But they said you can't stack draw 2s or draw 4s.
Well, you can definitely stack draw 2s, 100%, right?
They said no. So
no cap. That's the whole fun part of doing it.
Well, it's the same thing when Parker Brothers came out and said, no, you don't put tax in a pot, and if you get free parking, you get the money. They're like, they made that up.
You don't put tax in the pot, and then
in a pot, and then whoever lands on free parking gets the pot. You never did that?
No, I still do it.
Okay. Well, Parker Brothers says no.
What do they say?
It's a house rule, and it has no pertinence to the actual game.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be fair. Most Monopoly games are house rules anyway.
Right.
You know?
I didn't know tournaments in Monopoly were a thing, but it turns out they are. So if you go to a tournament and try that, they're going to say, no, wrong, bad.
Looks like Terry's flopped the middle set here. He doesn't have too much else around him. No one else is going to play. No straight draws, no flush draw. There's one gutter ball, but Bo's not calling that.
Nope.
It was funny when my wife and I first played Monopoly, she had all these rules that she made up with her brother when they were kids, and I remember a bunch of them. There's one where if you land on go, you get 400 instead of passing go for getting 200. If you land on it, you get 400. They also came up with a rule where as long as you own a property, you can build houses on it. You don't have to own the whole
strip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's.
She was a savage.
I'm definitely not playing that version
No,
for real cash.
No,
that's pure gamble.
Yep. Agreed.
We should ask the state if we can do that.
What's that?
Like spread Monopoly. $1,500 banks. You start with $1,500 real cash, and then just play till you're busted. You laugh, but there's some players in our poker, regular base that would absolutely play that.
Oh, 100%.
Be nice and quiet in the poker room. All of a sudden, you hear say, "Boardwalk, mother." With a hotel, pay me $2,000, or kick rocks.
My kid and I play. It's called Jupiteropoly, so it's basically just Monopoly except with Jupiter landmarks. And Boardwalk is Abacoa.
I was gonna say town or planet.
Yeah.
So there's not really a lot of landmarks on the planet.
No. Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of restaurants are on there, like Wanabana's. I don't know if
The
you know.
Inlet.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Jupiter Inlet's on there. And
Just trying to guess what Boardwalk would be.
well, I just told you, Abacoa.
Oh.
And then the lighthouse is Park Place.
I don't know, man. I lived in Abacoa. It wasn't very boardwalky.
It is now. It's real nice now.
Well, I was in the townhouses on top of the bar, so maybe out, where the actual houses were.
Those are
is-
still
is
pretty
like
nice though.
Boardwalk.
Those townhouses above the bars, those are nice. When did you live there? We had to have seen each other because I worked there for years. I worked in Abacoa.
I lived on top of the Mugs
Mhm.
in 421, which always disappointed me. I wanted 420.
Oh, yeah, but what year? Like when did you live there?
From 02 to 08, and then I moved out of there.
Oh, yeah.
HOA fees were getting crazy.
No, we definitely crossed paths. Well, no, maybe not. To 08? Nah, maybe not. Did you? I'm assuming you played at Mugs. You played like the bar.
Yeah, I
poker
played
and
bar
stuff?
poker there. That's where I learned to play before moving on to Kennel Club. Got to say, aside from the basic mechanics of the game, you're not going to learn much at bar poker that applies to real poker.
No, no, you're not.
Just, have the position and when to bet, that basic structure. That's all you're going to learn.
It's a gateway. It's a gateway
You're
game.
not. You're definitely not going to learn how to bet and when, or
The blinds go up
cash
every
strategy.
10 to 15 minutes, and it's just not.
Right.
Everyone's playing for a bar tab. They're buying shots, getting chips for each shot they buy.
Everybody would root for me when they were knocked out because I always made my own and brought my own. So I would take the bar tab and buy drinks for everybody. So if they got knocked out, they would root for me because they just wanted the free drinks.
Is Terry raising here?
With aces, I should sure hope so.
Doesn't
You guys
always-
remember he checked him that other time, and there ended up being 6 people in the hand, and he got he
was-
got crushed.
That was Benny.
Oh, that was Benny?
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, Terry. But you absolutely should raise here. See, now you're just heads up, and you just got to be one person,
Well,
and,
he
which
ain't-
you promptly don't.
Not beating that guy.
He's a lucky SOB, flopping trip kings. Oh, yeah, and he's coming after it. He's betting it.
It's a good bet, too. 12-5.
Roughly half of Terry's stack.
Wow, just
Wow, and he boats up.
no big deal.
Wow.
Easy game.
Graphics are taking a second to update, but Terry's got to hit an ace to boat up with aces full, or he's not winning this hand. It's not quite all in to call, but it might as well be for all intents and purposes. I was going to say because he's big blind next hand, it's going to cost him 6K blind. And that's not an ace.
Terry's got to know that SOB has been betting flop, turn, and river. Probably has a king at the very least. Yeah, Terry knows the situation he's put himself in now by calling on the turn. Yeah.
It's all in to call, and 2-pair. And how often is 2-pair good in Omaha?
Well, here's the thing, too. With no redraw on the turn, Terry probably – now he's starting to realize he should have folded on the turn because you're basically just locking yourself in here. Yeah, Terry, you know
He's got
he
10K
just
left,
knows. Yeah,
but he like I said, he's all in. He's not all in blind, but he's 60% of his stack blind next hand. Perhaps if he was on the button, you could find a fold there. And Terry, who was down to 8K at one point, fought back very valiantly, but is eliminated in 8th place. And with 33 entrants, we're only paying 4. So final table in 8th place usually gets you paid around here on the stream, but not today.
Not today.
Lucky SOB's knocked out a lot of players today. Too bad for him. This isn't the Black Jet Bounty. You might have close to $1,000 by now. Might have to have a talk with Tim about putting his cards in the box. Apparently they weren't very good. He snap folds.
Good luck with that.
Lucky SOB, well, his hand's not great, but it's not bad either. And nobody raises big blind, so he'll see it flop for free.
Tell you what, if I'm Ed, I'm blasting that pre-flop. Jen flops the world here.
Everybody limped, so. Bruce has a set.
Bruce doesn't have a set. Bruce has top set.
Well,
He's got his own blockers, though. He's
both
got a
things are
5
true.
Blocker. Wow, Jen folds a monster. A pair, flush draw, straight draw. Gets only
I was
10
going to say,
high
Bruce
flush, but
tends to play kind of conservative, but immediately goes all in with that set.
he's going to get a snap fold from SOB. Only has a pair of deuces.
Well, it's not 3 6s, so it's no omen at all. If he had hearts instead of diamonds, maybe he chases it, but definitely not there. But I've dealt to Bruce many times, and I can tell you from experience, he doesn't get sets a lot. So when he gets them, he tends to get excited and overbets it just a smidge.
No, I think he played that great. He checked it, let his opponent bet for him, comes back around to him, and, you know, a lot of turns he doesn't like there. Straight calls for flush draws. I mean,
He might have turned 2-pair, Maverick style.
I like it there.
8s and 8s.
You got to give the James Coburn voice
Yeah.
the.
I can't really do that.
8s
I do lots of good
and
voices,
8s.
but Coburn, I can't really do.
8s and 8s. Nah, it's not good either.
My
Point
wife
is,
asked me, she's like, since you started dealing poker, how accurate in this movie? I'm like, not at all.
no, you don't think guys can magically.
8s and 8s. I'm like, they dragged you out in the street and shot you for stuff like that back then. That was a total troll.
Not when it's your boat.
Mm.
And you're the only one that has a gun.
No, but they established that. He saw, like, your security isn't worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Coop, everybody's got a gun.
That's true. That was a great movie.
And he's looking at it. He's focusing on the ace of spades so hard. I'm like, Mav, you can also win with a 9 of spades, right? You're open-ended. Why are you focusing so hard on the ace? I almost wanted him to turn over the 9, too. He looked down and almost looked disappointed it wasn't the ace. And I was waiting for him to troll everybody and turn up a 9. Straight flush of the king. I win. Because Alfred Molina's straight flush was only to the queen. But, yeah, in 5-card draw, straight flush versus royal flush versus quads, you're getting into Powerball odds of that happening. ESPN wishes that could happen at their WSOP coverage just once.
Is it too late to go down there and tell Tim to put his cards in the box?
Probably.
Poe getting check raised here. Almost assuredly his opponent has a straight. Although 3 9s are gone. Other guy had pocket 9s. Bo's got a 9 right there. Bo's got a really good hand, just not when you get check raised. It's almost just a bluff catcher at that point. What are the odds Tim doesn't put his cards in the box?
Oh, I ain't taking that bet. But a good dealer would pitch the cards to the box like he's doing now. There you go. That's how you do it, buddy. He can't not show the cards in the box if they're already pitched there.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
I don't deal much on the stream, but occasionally I do. I aim at the box every time. Now ask me if I ever hit it.
Did you ever hit it?
Not as often as I'd like. But I'm trying my best every time. So Ed makes it 15K to go with his aces. To be fair, Tim did put his cards in the box that time. I watched him do it. He like scrunched them in there for like a second, and then he pulled them out. So I don't know. That tall Josh, maybe we can look at that box. There might be something wrong with it.
Well, Ed's flop top set, but Lucky SOB is continuing his lucky
look at
run.
that straight draw.
Oh, he hit it.
Or he hit the straight. Runner, runner, flush draw. And Tim and his mystery hand are out. So Ed needs the board to pair here. Turn card, a 10. That ain't it, though he picks up a few more outs. And Lucky SOB knocks out another player. Again, too bad for him it's not the progressive or the black chip bounty.
Nah, he'd be racking up black chips.
He'd have a stack right now. He's been killing it. He kind of got into it with Bo a little bit, and Bo almost caught up to him. They went head to head like 4 or 5 times, and Bo ended up beating him every time. So it went from 4-1 to even, but now Lucky SOB is reestablishing himself. Bo's been pretty card dead. And you can make lemons out of lemonade and hold them in some cases by betting a certain way and with good position. It's a little tougher in Omaha.
Yep.
To bet with nothing and bully the table. might explain why I don't like to play it so much.
Well, it's some people think that's true, and in some cases it is, but it's also situational. There's a lot of situations where bluffing in Omaha is prevalent. I mean, because people are so worried about someone flopping a set or having the wrap or already flopping.
I get called every time I bluff at it. I get called down. So maybe I'm just playing with the wrong people, playing with a bunch of gambo DJs. Bo knows how to play hockey sticks. Under the gun in Omaha, yeah, 7-handed, yeah, that's how you play them. People think I'm partial to 7s because they're known in some circles as hockey sticks, but nah.
Nah.
Definitely not under the gun if I were in Bo's shoes. Like, a bunch of people fold, there's only 2 or 3 people in the hand, and I'm on the button. Maybe I give it a spin. But under the gun's a bad spot for that. Rocco looking for some pot. And who could blame him? Open-ended. But lucky SOB, he's got 2 hearts, and he flopped 2 hearts.
Well, it's not only open-ended, he's got a wrap and top
Yeah.
pair. That's a monster. Any queen, jack, 10 would give him a straight. He's already got a pair, which is good at this point.
It's an all-in.
Lucky SOB's got a pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, he's got a lot of outs. Tons of outs. Even with 5 of his outs dead, you definitely got to play for that if you're the chip leader.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Turn card. Picks up a couple more
Wow, he
outs,
goes
and there it
runner, runner
is.
straight.
He hits the straights.
That's crazy.
Rocco, if you can't hear the table talk, congratulating Lucky SOB in a very unique way. Ever seen that episode of Family Guy? Congratulations, you son of a... It was closer to that.
Gotcha. That's funny.
And then there were 5. Okay, an amiable deal was reached. $100 off first and then $50 off second and third. Nothing off fourth to pay the bubble.
Bruce.
Yeah, after the deal was made, 200 for the bubble now, taking it off the
That's
first,
enough.
second, and third.
That's
100
enough
off
for dinner.
first and second. 50 off second and third. Nothing off of fourth.
Wow, look at this flop. That's wild.
That's not even fair.
Let's see how lucky this SOB is. Nope, not that lucky.
Nope, not that time.
I'll take a picture.
So Bruce is going to double up. He'll stick around. I'm not sure why the chip count has Lucky SOB as eliminated because he's got a considerable amount. So you can't believe everything you see on TV because Bruce doubled up, but he definitely doesn't have 405K, and Lucky SOB is not eliminated in fifth.
Good job, Bruce.
Looks like Bruce is going to be at about 150. He had 62 at the end, doubled up, and then got what was in the pot.
Bruce septupled up there.
Yeah, normally that takes 7 opponents to double up off each of them, which it's quite a rare feat, 5-handed, to septuple up. All right, action. Over to Jen. Yeah, see, Tim's putting his cards in the box right there and just not getting any read.
Thank you.
You trying to tell me some parameters of what's going to happen, or are you telling me to steal second?
Yerp.
Because I'm like, at my size? But you know what? They'll never see it coming.
Nerp.
I might catch them with their pants down. And
Yerp.
come on, children, don't be shy.
Looks like Lucky SOB's hiding all of his big chips. You think Bo knows that he has that stack?
That's, Bo knows. That's naughty.
We've got a pot of brewing.
Of coffee?
Hockey.
No.
Boston Bruin.
No, definitely no hockey.
Check.
I'm going to miss the Prospects game for the first time in over 20 years.
I don't even know what that is.
It used to be free to everybody. It's right after the draft. The Panthers have all the draft picks and prospects, and they play. They have a little mini camp. Ends with a scrimmage.
Cool.
But ever since we became, champions and the popularity's gone up, it is now down to season ticket holders only, and you gotta buy tickets. Used to be free.
So it's a scrimmage between the rookies?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's enough of them. They just go through mini camp with them, and then they split them into 2 teams, and they play a game.
This could be a really dumb question, but are the Palm Beach Blaze no longer a thing? That's like years and years and years ago,
That's
right?
going back decades.
All
That whole league is defunct.
Okay.
There's nowhere for them to play anyway, even if the league were still around.
Well, there's hockey rinks around.
Yeah, but the Blaze was, Blaze, obviously you've
remember.
been if you're bringing it up.
Yeah.
It was like the real life slap shot.
Yeah.
Total 70s era goon hockey. I mean, these guys were below AA, these players. Like one of them was like a manager at Home Depot for his real job because he was only making $300 a week playing for the Blaze.
Really?
A lot of them had just regular jobs, and then they come down to the rink and suit up.
Jen's got top pair, top kicker with all the back doors. He bet 6K. Jen, we're 5-handed. You got ace queen. I don't think we can fold here. I mean, I understand it's not like two pair. You don't really have all the draws. That's kind of a big fold there.
But yeah, they'd sell out that old leaky teepee in that 95 lockout year. Because we just got a brand new expansion hockey team and everybody loved it, and then they were gone because of the lockout. So everybody down here was just cramming into the old auditorium
I remember.
to get their hockey fix. And the league struggled with attendance all over the league, but the Lakeland team, which is just outside Tampa, and the West Palm team, their rinks were rocking.
So the Blaze were below AA hockey?
Yes, they weren't even considered professional.
Really?
That league was considered semi-pro until like the last 2 years when they got like upgraded to pro single A.
Were they a Panthers affiliate?
No.
No? Who were?
They didn't have any affiliates.
Oh,
it was
gotcha,
a completely
gotcha,
independent
gotcha.
league.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went to a couple Blaze games. We went to a lot of those Expos games. We went to a bunch of Expos games. We went to all the like circuses. We did everything. In the
Yeah,
West
my
Palm Beach
dad didn't
territory.
even like hockey, but he came down to so many Blaze games because there was always brawls like every game. His favorite player was Reggie, a guy named Reggie, who could barely skate. But every time he touched the ice, he went after somebody, just clocked them.
Tim's got kings here, but he's going to play a little passively. I'm definitely surprised Bo folded that hand. Ace 5-5 deuce with a suited ace. Kind of a big hand, but he's playing ICM implications. He's waiting for the field to get thinned out a little bit here, so not a terrible fold until this happens. Oh, okay, good fold.
Yep. Well.
Tim's no longer going anywhere. He's got a flush draw. He still has the kings. SOB has a straight draw and a pair. Yeah, I don't think
SOB is going to force the issue here.
Tim's never folding, and then SOB, I think, has priced himself in.
Pretty much. Yep. It's basically a min raise,
Yeah.
from 25 to 48.
Yep.
He's got a lot of outs, though. And that's not it. That's not it
Nor
either.
is that.
Tim doubles up. And with the exception of Jen, they're pretty much sharing chips. Only 22K separates first from fourth.
Well, that was a big pot right there. Obviously, that
Yeah.
brings everybody relatively even. Brings Tim up, SOB down. And like you said, Jen's sitting around 12 bigs, 50K. Still anyone's game in Omaha. I mean, all chips get in there pretty quickly. Pretty easy to double up. As a player is literally doubling up.
Dun, dun, dun. 18K in orbit. And the graphics say Jen has 12 big blinds. She, in fact, has 3 orbits. Lucky for her. Well, 4 orbits, really, because she's on the button to start this one. Okay, I was being nice to Tim, saying he definitely did not put him in the box that time. He had been, to be fair. Okay, now he is. Kind of. We need more than the corner of the cards, Tim. Jen looking for some pot. It's not quite legal in Florida yet, Jen. Take it easy. One more election cycle. Uh-oh. And suddenly Bo is the poker police. Wow. This is going to be trouble for Bo. Case ace on the flop. And Bo's like, oh. Red rum. Red rum. It's normally you see a red card and you want it to turn black, but it's the opposite. Remember when I said how pretty much everybody was even? Now they're even more even.
Yeah.
Easy, Jen. You're starting to sound like Baby Plucky.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your turn. It's my turn. Not your button. My button. Not your elevator. My elevator. If you actually get that reference, I'm very, very sorry. It's very obscure.
I don't.
It was a spin from a spin-off of a spin-off.
Blinds are up 3K, 6K. Looking at 15,000 every orbit. Every 5 hands, you got to put in 15K in blinds.
Okay, so some threes and a king. Bo gets the best of that.
Wow.
24, Jack Bauer style. Doot, doot.
The power of position poker.
$40, $80, $80. You ready, buddy?
Ready.
It's coming. Well, you won't chop right
Hello?
now because you're in the middle of a hand.
Hello?
If you're still of the same mind after the hand, perhaps, but not right meow.
Are you saying meow?
Do I look like a cat to you, boy?
Are you drinking from a saucer?
Do you see me hopping from tree to tree all wimbly nimbly?
Nimbly bimbly.
Oh.
You failed the test, man.
I failed the test. I'm a
Failed.
failure.
You're out.
Put me in the
You're off the team.
Faber box. You're suspended. Get on the radio. And Lucky SOB has flopped a flush draw. Also a gutter.
There's not going to be too much action just because, whew, sorry, excuse me. There's not going to be too much action because they're talking about a chop
Yeah,
mid-hand.
Bruce is leading with his threes, but a 2-1 underdog. And he wisely gets out of the way.
I did a little rabbit hunt. Why not? That's the last hand of the tournament, then
Is
a
it
little
though?
rabbit hunting's okay. No, I'm just saying if it is.
Yeah. We here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club do not endorse rabbit hunting. Unless you already ruined it.
So we're going to do some chip calculations. We're going to check out some ICM numbers. And if all the players agree, it looks like they're thinking about a 5-way chop.
The antithesis of final table action. I don't know where he is, but wherever he is out in the universe, that tall Josh is not pleased. He takes kind of a samurai Bushido code to final table. Fight with honor to the end.
That's fair.
If you die with honor.
Well, guys, spoiler alert into the future. We chopped.
Just blurt it. It's all like no suspense, no like
Nope.
will they chop, will they not? He's like,
Nope, they
nah,
chop.
they
They
just did it. You know.
Got some numbers here, though. We did give away a $300 ticket for our multi-flight event, and that went to Tim.
That is an amazing prize.
Dun, dun, dun. Looks like SOB took home 1,000. Tim took home 846 plus a ticket. Bo took home 732. Bruce took home 687, and Jen took home 533 smacks. They were tired of
Not
passing
bad.
around chip. Not bad. Most non-heinous.
Wow, I guess they're done.
Oh, no, they're done.
The feed just
They are done. They are officially done. We'd like to thank everybody, all of our dealers, players, chatters. Give a shout out to Todd, who was our dual rate today. Give a shout out to my guy Matt next to me, that tall Josh, our production crew, James, Ron, Rob. Without them, this show is pretty bad.
kaput.
Yeah.
Or non-existent.
That as well.
Yeah. Make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. And also be sure to tune in for tomorrow's show, which is our Deep Stack 130 10K guarantee. And that'll be fun. And then on Saturday, the Black Chip Bounty Tournament. Oh, so much action, so much headhunting. It's going to be pure chaos.
Love it.
Yeah. The players, they not so much. But for us, for entertainment, oh, we love it.
No, they choose
Great for
violence.
us, yeah.
We just like to
Yeah,
watch.
we don't make them play. I mean, they do it. But until then, I'm Matt F. And for Terry, thank you for tuning in. And good night from the Action Palace at Pbkc.